Hey, we've got a problem here.
What did you do?
Nothing. I stirred the tanks.
Whoa. Hey.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and we've all been waiting for it. I've been covering it here over the last few days. The March solicitations for DC Comics. We knew this was going to be a big day or a big month for DC. Obviously, they're coming out of Endless Winter. Then they're having the big Future State event. Turns out Future State has a lot more to do with the future of DC Comics than we originally anticipated. A lot of the creative teams are moving over. It seems like a lot of the stuff, at least in Batman, Superman, are kind of going to be leading into what we see in Future State. And we knew we were getting all the new creative teams. So I've certainly been covering that here. And we finally had the full roster. And unfortunately, it's mostly what I've already delivered, with a few additions. We didn't get everything that I anticipated. There were a few titles that just first off I noticed aren't there. I don't see Legion of Superheroes, Brian Michael Bendis. We had no indication that was over. I imagine we're going to see it maybe in later months. We're not having a Red Hood title. There's no Batgirl title. We know that Barbara Gordon Batgirl is going to be in Nightwing, but I was assuming we were getting a Batgirls title with Spoiler and Orphan. Maybe that's going to be a backup story. That's going to be a big thing that we're going to be talking about. There's no second Green Lantern title. I was told there was going to be a second Green Lantern title. Maybe that's for the future as well. I don't see Wonder Girl from Joelle Jones, which that was like the first comic that we were told was happening in March 2021. No Wonder Girl. Obviously, Yara Flor, big plans for her as far as Warner Media, going on the Arrowverse on CW. And I don't see Aquaman. Apparently, he's just going to be in the Justice League series. Also, very conspicuous by their absence, Robert Medici, Peter J. Tomasi, Dan Jurgens, Joshua Williamson. I have stuff to say about that. I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to talk about that on Tuesday with my good friend Eric Breen. I think he's going to have some stuff to say about that as well. But it's been noticed. It's not there. Also noticed, we're getting lots of backup stories. There's going to be backup stories on all the major titles. And guess what? That ain't free, folks. You're going to be paying the extra money for these backup stories you likely don't want. Now, I know a lot of people do appreciate backup stories, but me personally, if I'm buying my James Tynion Batman comic, I don't want to pay an extra $1 for some crap writer to come on and write a backup story, even if it's about Damian Wayne, a character I personally like. But you're getting backup stories in a lot of these, and we'll cover those in all the comics with backup stories, which are all the main ones that most people are going to want to buy, for all $5. Not very happy about that. They're going all in on anthologies. Got a lot of anthologies going out. I believe there's 2 different Superman anthologies. There's the red and blue. There's another one. I'll cover that. So we're getting a lot more anthologies, tons of backup stories. It appears there's a reason Diana Prince is not on the Justice League anymore. She's in hell. I imagine that's because she died in Dark Knight's Death Metal, saving the universe. We'll get to that, to the details in that solicitation. So there's a lot of stuff to cover here. Obviously, I've covered a lot of it, but we're also going to cover Infinite Frontier, which I guess is the new iteration of DC Comics that we're coming into. So before I get into all these details and my personal thoughts, and you're going to get some thoughts on this one, and I'm not happy without some of this, I will say this. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this video. Give me a thumbs down if you don't. By the way, I want to hear your thoughts on DC's March solicitations. Are you happy to shell out an extra $1 for your Batman, your Superman, Justice League, and all of the other titles that you enjoy for some backup story that you never wanted to begin with? I'm not. Are you happy about that? Does that excite you? Do you like the direction to go in with anthologies? Are you glad Diana Prince is dead and Wonder Woman is in Hades or Valhalla, whatever? She's dead. Also, are you glad there's a new there's a new Swamp Thing? I think that's stupid too. So we're gonna get into all that. Definitely want to hear your thoughts. Now let's start getting into these. Where's the button? There's the button. these solicitations. I couldn't find the button. My goodness. So this is what we're talking about. Infinite Frontier is like Rebirth and New 52. It's a line-wide recalibration of DC characters. So they're not calling it a reboot, folks. It's a line-wide recalibration. And we're going to get a bunch of Batman titles. Yeah, there's going to be a backup Damian Wayne story. We're also getting that Batman Ra's al Ghul miniseries going to finish up. I forgot about that one. So there you go. We are getting some stuff that was canceled due to the pandemic is returning. So here's the big one, Infinite Frontier #0. Ugh. Apparently we are going to find out about Diana Prince and being in hell. Here's the main cover. Written Scott Snyder, Jeff Johns, James Tynion, Josh Williamson, Jeffrey Thorne, Philip Kennedy Johnson, Brian Michael Bendis, Becky Cloonan, Michael Conrad, Joel Jones, and Tim Sheridan. Art by John Timms, Howard Porter, Joel Jones, Jorge Jimenez, Alita Martinez, David Marquez, Stephen Byrne, Jamal Idle, Dexter Soy, Rafa Sandoval, Alex Maleev, John Romita Jr., and others. $5.99, 64-page, one-shot comic. The next phase of the DC Universe begins here. Dark Knight's death metal presented the darkest threats of the multiverse. DC Future State revealed what may lie ahead. Now it's time to look into the infinite frontier of the current-day DC Universe. In Gotham, the Joker jolts citizens awake when an attack even the Dark Knight never expected. In Brazil, a young woman discovers her destiny and her connection to the Amazons. In Belle Reve, Amanda Waller plots an invasion of Arkham Asylum. In the far reaches of space, Mongol dreams of galactic domination while the Green Lantern Corps hosts a summit of its greatest enemies. At the Hall of Justice, the League joins forces with Black Adam. Beyond the mortal world, Wonder Woman settles in a new world in the God Sphere. And somewhere in the DC universe, it's the return of Stargirl in an all-new tale written by Jeff Johns. This oversized All-Star issues picks off the next great era of storytelling and excitement as top writers and artists reveals what's next to the world's greatest heroes. Well, I will take exception with this. We are not getting too many top writers. We're getting a lot of second C and D list writers, and we're getting a lot of screenwriters who have written really shitty seasons of Supernatural. That's mostly what we're getting. But DC's saying it's the next generation of top artists or writers. We're also not getting all the great artists coming back either, so you'll see that throughout. Am I excited about Infinite Frontier? This doesn't feel like DC Universe Rebirth. It doesn't even feel like DC New 52. Feels like a hodgepodge of stupid ideas for the most part. Obviously, there's stuff I'm excited about, stuff I am going to read, but this one-shot comic, is it must-read? Doesn't feel like must-read to me. Unless you want to... Obviously, Batman Urban Legends is the new Batman anthology that's going on with Batman Black and White. The main story is going to be written by Chip Zdarsky. A lot of variant covers on here. Matthew Rosenberg, Stephanie Phillips, Brandon Thomas. $8 for a comic book. Chip Zdarsky is going to bring me to the table. If it was $3.99 and his story was the main one with Eddie Barrows, but I'm not shelling an extra $4 for Matthew Rosenberg, Stephanie Phillips, and Brandon Thomas. Get the hell out of here! Obviously, we already covered that. There's going to be the Chip Zdarsky Red Hood story with Batman. There's going to be a Grifter story, Harley Quinn, and an Outsider's Tale. Joker #1. This is the James Tynion spin-out that's coming out of Batman. Joker is the world's most wanted villain. There's going to be a backup story. Get used to this backup story and get used to this price tag of $5.99 for anything with a backup story. Written by James Tynion and his girlfriend, Sam Johns. With that backup story is going to be Punchline. And eventually those two are going to converge, and it's going to be the Joker Punchline comic that a lot of people never wanted. The James Gordon investigation into Joker and trying to track him down sounds interesting. the punchline thing does not, because it's going to be directly spinning out of punchline number 1, which sucked ass. Not excited about that. Harley Quinn number 1. This is the Stephanie Phillips Riley Rossimo comic. Not a big fan of Riley Rossimo's art. Not a big fan of Harley Quinn, the character. So it doesn't matter who was writing this, but don't know who Stephanie Phillips is. There you go. Crime Syndicate. This is obviously the evil version of the Justice League that tormented John Kent while he was aged up. This is Andy Schmidt, Kieran McEwen. Miniseries, issue 1 of 6. Feels eminently skippable. There's going to be a backup story about Ultraman, the evil version of Superman. That's Brian Hitch. Suicide Squad. This is going to be coming in line with the, obviously with the movie, and then we got a Peacemaker comic book or TV show coming out. You see him prominently on the series. Robbie Thompson, Eduardo Pensica. Robbie Thompson, okay. There's no Harley Quinn in this one. I'm a little bit surprised. If you're a fan of Suicide Squad, you probably like this one. Superman Red and Blue, the new anthology series about Superman. I couldn't imagine a less exciting roster of writers for Superman. John Ridley, Wes Craig, Brandon Easton, Dan Waters, and Marguerite Bennett. As far as the art goes, Clayton Henry, I like him. Steve Lieber's okay. All right, he's pretty good. Cover by Gary Frank looks great. Variant cover by Lee Bermeo, it's even better. But that's an instant pass. Here's one thing that I don't get. Like, obviously, the Swamp Thing has evolved over time. You know, it started out, you know, when Len Wein pitched the idea, it was kind of an accident, but the character kind of hit. Grew stale rather quickly. It didn't take too long. I believe they were at issue, was it 20? I think they were in the early 20s when it was relaunched by Alan Moore with one of the greatest character origin reimaginations I've ever read in my life. It's one of the best comic stories I've ever read in my life. If you haven't read Alan Moore, Stephen Bissett's Saga of the Swamp Thing, Volume 1, 2, like, you're missing out on what comic books is all about. And that's obviously the origin of Alec Holland, but there's a new Swamp Thing. It seems ridiculous and really silly. Like, just the origin itself of Swamp Thing is such an accident. Obviously, now he is the keeper of the green and all that stuff, but now there's a new Swamp Thing. I find this exceptionally disappointing. This is the one series I was most excited about. Ram V, Mike Perkins on Swamp Thing, but now it's Levi Kamei is the new Guardian of the Green. Is there one thing that you could do to get me not to read Swamp Thing by Ram V and Mike Perkins? Is probably just to remove Alec Holland and make a new Swamp Thing. Sounds totally uninteresting. Let's read this. Unable to control his transformation into the monstrous Swamp Thing, Levi is thrust into the harsh, unforgiving mystery of grisly murders committed by a supernatural desert legend. Levi must revisit past events in his homeland of India and face the deadly reality of ravenous new villain in order to comprehend what he is truly horrifyingly becoming. A new era of global action and horror blossoms here. I get it, you know, Ram V. I believe he's British, but he is of Indian descent. So now the new Swamp Thing's Indian. I don't know, man. Probably gonna pass on that. I'm a original Swamp Thing fan. I don't think there needs to be a new Swamp Thing. I think that's actually kind of a stupid idea. I imagine Swamp Thing dies in Dark Knight's Death Metal, and that's why they have to replace him. So thank you very much, Scott Snyder. You're killing all the things we love. Teen Titans Academy #1. I think a lot of people are excited about this one. Tim Sheridan, another screenwriter. Rafa Sandoval, absolutely brilliant artist. This one's $3.99. Welcome to Teen Titans Academy, packed with both new superpowered teens and numerous dark secrets. The Academy's student body includes Shazam, a new Australian speedster, so I guess that's the new Shazam, a trio of Gotham expatriates obsessed with Batman. One member of the first class will become the Deadly Red X, and the staff is going to be original Beast Boy, Nightwing, Starfire, Raven, Cyborg. Probably pretty good. Probably pretty good. It's a good opening cover. If you like Red X. Superman 29, obviously, I've already covered this quite a bit. I'm a big fan of Philip Kennedy Johnson. The opening storyline is going to be this Golden Age story. And here we go, backup story, $5.99. Do you, I don't know. Do you want to pay the extra $1 for the Sammy Basri story? Oh, no, the Sean Lewis story. Do you want to pay that extra $1 for Sean Lewis? Is he bringing you to the dance? He's not bringing me to the dance. I could give two shits about the Tales of Metropolis. If you want to give it to me for free so you can introduce an idea, that's on you. You want to make me pay for it, now you're getting me mad. Now I'm going to get butthurt about it because I don't want to read fucking Sean Lewis's extra crap in Superman. I want to read Philip Kennedy Johnson's story, and I want to read it for $3.99, which I already think is too expensive. $4.99 is ridiculous. Philip Kennedy Johnson jumps on DC Future State back to the present for a two-part story spanning Superman in action. Jonathan Kent steps back to examine his father's legacy when a monstrous foe from outer space attacks Clark and nearly kills him. This young hero must consider the fact that his father died once before, and the Legion of Superheroes told him he could die again. Any threat could be the one, including this one. Let's hear about the story in action. Of course, there's another backup story. Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad. Do they bring you to the dance? Do you want to pay this extra $1 for the Becky Cloonan, Michael Conrad Tale of Metropolis about Midnighter? Is Becky Cloonan who you always wanted to bring Midnighter to the fucking Superman universe with? Not me. Golden Age reaches its conclusion in this issue. Following an almost deadly attack by an alien foe, the new Superman realizes that any threat could be the one. Neither Superboy nor Superman knows what. Okay, 2 words: the wall, the source wall. Great, or maybe it's a character. I think it's whatever. This is already annoying me. Batman. I just want to say what a badass cover this is. I hate the new trade dress. I wish they would take this off immediately. I don't care about Infinite Frontier. I think it's a stupid name. Whatever focus group they tested that one on, they need to get a new focus group because that's a lame name. They should just cut this part off. Just make it DC Comics. But this is an incredible cover. What about the end? There you go. Backup story. Joshua Williamson. At least there's a good writer on here, and it's going to be that Damian Wayne. Okay, I'll pop down $1 for Jamie and Wayne Joshua Williamson backup story, and I'll give you that one. Well done, DC Comics. You proved me wrong immediately. Yeah, this is just going to be them going towards, future state. Detective Comics, Mariko Tamaki, enormous mistake. Backup story, Joshua Williamson. It's going to be that Demon Detective. I would rather read this part here than any of this right here. But they got an Eisner Award winner on Detective Comics. Now, it's not an Eisner Award winner superhero comic writer. It's a slice of life LGBTQ plus, writer, but whatever. Mariko Tamaki of Detective Comics. Ridiculous. Batman Superman 16. Gene Yang comes to the fold. Art by Ivan Rice. How long do you think Ivan Rice is going to last? I bet it's not very long. All right. So Spider Lady, Poisonous Webs, and Dr. Adam's going to be there. Okay. Cover doesn't interest me. Moving on. Catwoman, Ram V with Fernando Blanco. You're a big fan of Selena Kyle. Obviously, Ram V was on the title during or before Future State. People were enjoying it. He did the issue 25. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So if you're a big fan of Selena Kyle, I think this will probably be the comic book for you, and they have an excellent writer on it. Flash 768. Jeremy Adams and Brandon Peters. How low is Flash falling? The show must be ending. That's all I can say. Because they're putting zero effort into this. And it's going to be the redemption of Wally West. Already thought he was redeemed with Flash Forward. Why aren't Scott Lobdell and Brett Booth doing this comic book? Oh, yes, Brett Booth got poached by X-Men and Marvel Comics, but why isn't Scott Lobdell writing this? He only redeemed the fucking character after the biggest assassination ever by Tom King in Heroes of Christ. But no reward. It's the Jeremy Adams show, people. You remember Jeremy Adams? He did Lego Aquaman. And a few episodes of Supernatural during the really shitty seasons. Justice League, Brian Michael Bendis. Superman, Batman, Flash, Hawkgirl, Aquaman, Hippolyta, new DC powerhouse Naomi. And is that Black Adam? Well, yes, it is. And, of course, there's a backup story by Ram V and Zermanico. They are the Dark Knight's JLD writers. So there's going to be a backup story in here. I would rather read the backup story than the main one, but another $5 comic book for the backup story. I don't think fans of Bendis probably like Ram V because Ram V is a really good writer and Bendis isn't. So if unless you want to be embarrassed by the low quality of your hero, Brian Michael Bendis, you might want to steer clear of this one because Ram V will probably write circles around it, if I'm being completely honest. Nightwing 78, something I am excited for. Tom Taylor. This is the one that's going to have Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. I thought she was going to be Oracle now, but she's not. We are revisiting the Zuko story. Obviously, has a lot to do with the origin of Dick Grayson. I like this cover. I hate this part right here. Remove that, and maybe it's not so bad. This one, it's a little muted. Wonder Woman 770. That is an ugly character. That is, man, apparently you get uglier in the afterlife. There, she looks much better there, although her head's a little big. But she does look much better there. This ugly Wonder Woman. Beautiful Wonder Woman. Backup story, Jordi Belair. About young Diana Prince. Is Jordi Belair's young Diana Prince bring you to the yard for another $1? Not me. I think this is an enormous mistake. Very big miscalculation. People are already apprehensive what DC Comics are doing in Future State, and that it was tying so directly into their main line. I think they're going to get a large scale revolt with the $5 price tag. Just putting it out there. And yes, Wonder Woman's dead. She wakes up in Valhalla, and if she dies, she gets resurrected and fights some more. Whatever. You ruin everything, Scott Snyder. We can't have nice things because of you. Sensational Wonder Woman, Stephanie Phillips, the new hit writer at DC Comics. She's got the pixie haircut, so she goes straight to the top. Something I would never read anyway. Doesn't matter. Some YA crap. American Vampire 1976. We're out of the mainline DC stuff. We're getting into Black Label and some of the other stuff. Obviously, this is Scott Snyder, Raphael Albuquerque, their big series. I read the first issue. It was all right, if you like that. Batman Black and White. Chip Zdarsky is writing on this one as well. Joshua Williamson. Daniel Warren Johnson. Okay, so this is mostly good here. Oh, Riley Rossmo. Well, at least you get the Dodsons. Obviously Daniel Warren. Joshua Williamson, Riley Rossmo. Why would you destroy a good Josh Williamson story if Riley Rossmo's crap art? Oh, never mind. I'm not reading this. This is from Chip Zdarsky. He doesn't always win, even though he's one of my favorite writers. A story that brings Poison Ivy to the front door of Wayne Manor to demand ecological responsibility from Bruce Wayne. Hit the bricks, Poison Ivy. Get the hell out of here. Superstar artist Riley Rossmo. Oh, my goodness. Batman Catwoman #4. So this is when the series should still be readable. It's normal issue 5 where Tom King completely shits the bed and destroys the character. So I will still be reading this by now, and I probably won't hate it yet. Oh, that's actually a pretty decent cover. This one's kind of striking because of the color, but I kind of dig that a lot. Well done, Travis Charest. Oh, I imagine this is the Jim Lee one, huh? Yeah. Pretty good. So he will be shitting the bed shortly after this. Batman White Knight presents Harley Quinn. Sean Murphy, Katana Collins. People are enjoying this. I'm waiting for the Batman to return to the White Knight universe. Obviously, he's in prison now. This is the conclusion, I believe. Looks like there's 3 Batmen fighting each other for Ra's al Ghul's affection. Neil Adams on that one. I forgot that this one existed. Okay, there's one more issue after that. The Dreaming Waking Hours. Just think about this, people. There's no room for Peter J. Tomasi. There's no room at the table for Robert Venditti, Dan Jurgens. We are seeing Joshua Williamson in some backup stories. But there's room at the dance for G. Willow Wilson. That tells you everything you need to know about DC Comics. Green Lantern Season 2 ends up. Grant Morrison, Liam Sharp. Beautifully illustrated. Not well constructed comic book in my opinion. I did not like the story in that one. Joker, Harley, Criminal Sanity. I bet they're glad that one's finishing up. Maybe next time you don't invest the $8 prestige format, ultra-priced comic book into Cami Garcia before you find out she can actually write a comic book. Looney Tunes. Whatever. Mad Magazine. Man-Bat. This is actually something I'm interested in. I'm probably going to read. Sumit Kumar's art is going to be awesome. Dave Wielgosz has been an editor at DC for a long time. No telling if he's actually going to be good or not. But I will check it out just for the art. Other history of the DC Universe. Insta Skip. Although this is a... yeah. No, I'm still skipping it, even though I like Katana a lot. He'll ruin the character. John Ridley's a fucking hack. Rorschach, Tom King. He's already... Well, he hasn't ruined this character. Issue 6. He should have destroyed something about the Watchmen universe by now. Strange Adventures. We've already seen the destruction he's done to Mr. Terrific. I imagine Adam Strange will be destroyed by now. We will know that he murdered his daughter. Sweet Tooth Return. Jeff Lemire. Truth and Justice. Is this... Yeah. A new anthology continues. Prisoners around Metropolis are waking up their homes, unaware how they got there, being accused of escaping Stryker's Island. Superman will need to use all his powers. Okay. Brandon Easton. So there are 2 anthology Superman comics. There's only one cover. That'll basically do it, folks. What's this? Hopefully this isn't hurting your eyes. Why am I even doing this? I don't need to go to the top, but I'm going to do it now. There you go. DC's March solicitations. My big takeaway. I want to pay $5 for an extra pages of story I don't want. Why are they replacing Swamp Thing? Diana Prince is dead. Where the hell are all the good writers? There's some promising stuff out there. I'm going to be reading the Superman stuff. I am going to be skipping Swamp Thing now that I know that they're replacing the character. It's pretty stupid. Maybe I'll check out Teen Titans Academy. That one's got me interested at least. Definitely reading Nightwing. Not a lot to be excited about, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? This is a long video. Let me know what you think. Sorry for... I'm a windbag. Oh, my goodness.